Today, the trailer was released for the latest Warbond Masters of Ceremony, which showcased a new primary weapon, secondary and an all-new grenade, stratagems, and 2 armor sets. This is gonna be crazy. Let's dive into this right now. This bad boy looks just like the FG-42 used in World War II, and it looks like it's gonna be full auto. And I mean, the FG was, so I expect this one to be. And as well, in the trailer, he was shooting it pretty fast, which could be our first ever full auto marksman rifle. Also, the second weapon in the game has a bayonet attached to it, and of course it has a scope for that long range. So it will most likely be very good for headshots on the bots and for long distance combat, you know, if you're into that type of stuff. I'm not for real, but next up is the new secondary, and it is a saber. And I called it. I said that they would add something like this like a really long time ago, but this is really cool. We can all agree on that, right? But unless this bad boy has crazy knockback or does a ton of damage or can at least stun enemies, it won't really stand out that much or be very useful. But just a little knockback would be straight. I mean, something that would be fun to use here and there, but it won't be very helpful on the battlefield. I mean, most of the time if I use a melee weapon, I'm using the stun lance, because it has that stun ability, of course. But unless it has some type of like effect or like does a ton of damage, then I probably won't be using this a lot. I'll probably stick to my normal stun lance, which I rarely use a stun lance now. Like, I rarely use melee weapons, but hopefully this is good. We can't see what it does right now, but hopefully this bad boy is not Bookie Doogie Duts. Next thing we have is actually my favorite and most anticipated item, the GT42 Pyrotech Grenade. This thing is literally a Helldivers Beyblade. You throw it on the ground and it starts flying and spinning and it explodes, and it's in the name, so it'll obviously do damage to light enemies and set them on fire with an explosion power at the end. So this is something I've actually always wanted, like something that could just, you throw it, boom, spins. It's kind of like that thing, can't remember the name of it, but you throw it on chargers and it just starts like flaming and stuff. This is like a better version of that, I would say, because it does widespread damage and should have a lot of fire spread, so that's gonna be pretty cool. And this bad boy looks mad fun and useful. We definitely needed a new grenade. Next thing in the Warbond kind of scares me, I'm not gonna lie, because it's a spear, and if this thing does the same damage as a normal melee weapon while taking up a stratagem weapon slot, I don't see myself or many people using this. But it does have a lot more range than every other melee weapon, of course, because it's literally a giant flag but a spear flag. Yeah, let's say a spear flag. But it has more range than any melee weapon we've ever had, and I'm hoping that we can use this with a shield. If not, I see people getting bored of this pretty quickly. And next up, we got 2 armor sets in the Warbond. It will most likely be a light and a medium variation. And there is a heavy version in the superstore, but there's no info about what armor passive they have, so that's just gonna be a surprise. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, their armors have been pretty lackluster lately. I mean, like, the best one I say they released lately is probably like the fire resistant armor. That's probably like the most useful, and the heavy armor, which is pretty self-explanatory. It stops you from taking as much damage, but it's gonna be a surprise when they drop the thing for the armor passive. And I mean, from this trailer, everything looks a little plain, I'm not gonna lie, or lackluster. They could have done a little better and added a little more, but I'll be testing this Warbond out on live, so I mean, I'm gonna definitely let you know if this bad boy is a hit or miss. Alright, I don't want you guys to spend your money on something that isn't really like fire. And I'm not saying Helldivers usually scams their players, but I mean, for the amount of time they are taking to make these Warbonds, I should be able to fucking put on Iron Man jetpacks and fly around the damn map, you feel me? But maybe we'll get something like that in the future, or maybe when the Illuminate comes back, we're gonna start getting some crazy shit. I don't know. I hope so, because I mean, this Warbond, I'm gonna rate it right now. I would honestly, without even using it yet, just looking at the trailer, I'm giving it like a 7.4. That's like, yeah, 7.4 is good. Only reason I gave it a 7.4 is because we didn't really get as many weapons as I was hoping for this time. Like, we could have got like a minigun maybe, or like maybe a better melee weapon. They gave us 2 melee weapons this time, which is, it's alright, but if we could have got like a freaking giant axe or like a medieval sword, bro, that junk would have been fire, bro. Like, if we got a giant knight sword or something like that, that probably would have been better than the saber, in my opinion. Or something that just did, like a stratagem that did a shit ton of damage, like a fucking orbital motherfucking fire dispenser or something. You know what I mean? Spice it up a little bit. But that's what I rated, man. Let me know your thoughts on this Warbond, and I'm finna go live right now. So just let me know your thoughts in the comments. If it's a pretty good thought, I will pin it. But peace out, everybody. I'll see you in the next.